Well, hello, and welcome back to, I believe, episode 9 of my journey back to 1000 ELO. I am skipping over two games that I lost. One of them was just a mouse slip in the beginning, and it threw me off. And then the other one, I can't remember. It was a little while ago, but I just quickly am going to play. Well, not quickly. It'll take some time, as you can see from the, length of the video, but I don't have a ton of time today, so we're just going to do one and see how this goes. All right, so we have white. So we are going to play the London. What I learned from last week is that this move is generally something that they want me to do nice and early. So, in all likelihood, they'll just push, but generally I put this pawn here in case this guy decides to take. Also, my voice is not great today. I have had a cold for a while, and today I just have the super tough guy sounding voice. That's, what it sounds like to me. That's not quite accurate, but it's close enough. So probably this move is what I'm thinking, just to shore things up and open up this bishop. This guy so far is relatively aggressive. We have the same amount of pieces developed, and that's what I'm going to try and focus on right now, is staying on top of my development and not moving the same piece too many times in the opening. Okay. So I can do this and get a check. Not quite sure at this point what the right move is. This bishop right there is kind of annoying to me. If I check, he can do this. And it's super possible you guys can hear music in the background. I guess you won't know which block I'm recording this in. Maybe you can figure it out. So the way I've learned to play the London, making sure that this pawn is still there is pretty important. The reason is that we want to have more attackers on this square so that we can get rid of this knight, the knight that is highlighted. Generally what that does, because this guy will, probably come out here at some point, and then king likes to castle this way, and we have some pretty good attacks if we can play it right. So also saw in a video that one of the goals is to get castled by move 10. So I don't like the choices I've made. Let's do that. I still want this guy to move in there, and I would optimally like something to be able to take it. Right now, that square is only protected by this one knight. And for me, it's protected by 3 things, which is good for us. The other move I always hope for is this, or this, so that I can just drop my bishop back. But so far, I already feel better about things because I didn't decide to just sack my bishop. I still have my bishop. And normally I think I would trade for the knight. At this point, I'm just talking because this person is a real thinker when it comes to chess. So last week I talked a bit about how I think talking during live games is a bit rough, how it might not always be the most helpful thing. I'm contemplating taking that back because the thing that it forces me to do is analyze my moves verbally before I do them. So I kind of think it might be more helpful for me to be able to talk things through. And it forces me to look at the board, talk through my possible moves, etc., which is Latin for and others, if you didn't know. Okay, this is all getting real convoluted. Let's castle by move 10. Nice. I did it. Mission accomplished. Thank you, man who made 35 chess principles. I don't remember your name, but you seem like a guy who knows how chess works. Now his attacks, let's see. I don't see a lot of moves that he currently has. I think my next thought is to get that knight out there. Ooh. Okay, so I don't want to take from that side. So we'll take there. Please do this. And what it looks like is I'm going to end up having a weird pawn structure, except before he can take this pawn. So if he takes, I take with my pawn. Before he can do anything about that, I can just move my bishop back, move this pawn forward, and it's reinforced. But that's not the way that this is going. I mean, I have an open file. I would kind of like to have a rook on an open file. That is generally good practice. I don't understand why he is pushing, though. So let's do that. Just push this pawn forward. And as I go along, if you are watching and you're like, Mr. Newman, you said to always do this, or this is a good thing, but you never do it, feel free to call me out. It's okay. Sometimes I feel like playing chess is a very, I don't know. Everything is so fluid. Things change constantly. So sometimes a move looks right, sometimes it doesn't. Am I making that decision based on anything? I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it's just intuition, but I don't have great chess intuition either. I've only been playing for a little while. My thought with this move, it stops the bishop from coming in if for some reason it wanted to do that, but also if he keeps pushing that pawn, I can take it. Or ignore it, he can take it, and I don't have to worry about anything, but that would open up that file if there's some sort of trades. Yep, so he did what I was talking about, which doesn't bother me too much. Ooh, so that square is a bit of a rough one because it is guarded by that bishop. I think it might be time to sacrifice that bishop. Sorry, buddy. You were a good bishop. Now that actually could end up being a bad move, depending on how things go. Because if he takes my knight first... Okay. He didn't. But what I was going to say is if he took my knight... Well, maybe not that bad. I guess I could just take with the bishop. We'll see what the computer says later. Another reason I didn't want to post the other games that I played, other than them being horrible, is I kept like just getting in my own head about how things were going, and it was bothering me a lot. So I didn't feel like they were very good examples of what I'm able to do. So, and that happens. There are lots of distractions around. That's a thing that can happen. But also, that's just life. I also was playing when I was relatively tilted. I was just frustrated with how everything was going. I wasn't enjoying playing. I was playing angry chess. So now, moving forward, that's a move that I am contemplating. Just going back. I need to do something with this bishop as well. There. Then I can attack that square. So possible moves. If I want to do the hippity hop horsey moves, I'm going to need to get rid of this rook and take over this file for myself. I also am going to need to take care of this rook. There's a lot of things that I have to do. I also never really think about king moves. I guess this move doesn't look too bad either. I don't really have a way of dealing with this knight if it comes there. These pawns feel quite useless right now. Maybe a move like this. What is happening? Okay, so he wants to go there, I think. So I can move here. And this is a really strong move for him normally because what's that called? I can't remember. Something's defense, some dude from history. But having pawns all in a line, then you have a horsey, a knight right at the front. That's pretty strong stuff. The problem for him is that I can just take already. So I don't really need to worry about my structure there. And actually going here shores that square up even more. So that is looking like a fantastical move. So let's go for it. And it's very possible I'm missing what he's trying to do at this point. I don't know. Don't know what he wants. I mean, I'm not drawing that arrow because I think that's a good move. Just FYI. I'm just trying to envision where his pieces are attacking, but he attacked me too soon. Are we finally going to get some takes going on? Let's just drop back. I contemplated putting my bishop here, laser beaming the queen. The problem with that is it's not really going to help me too much. Okay. Take. Take. I think this works out okay. He wants to free up this square for some reason. Like, that's his whole goal. I care enough about my knight. Or would I rather have a... I think I'd rather have a bishop. So let's see if he'll take en passant. En passant, remember, is if a pawn can take you on this square after you move your pawn 2 squares for the, you can do that on the first pawn move. That's called en passant, taking here. Yeah, that was en passant. Now, I have a few options. And thus far, I'm liking what I can see. So I can take with a pawn, I can take with a queen, I can take with a rook, I can take with my knight. Actually, I take back what I was saying. I think in this instance, oh, I don't like this. Contemplating taking with the queen because I want to do this at some point. So I think this, I imagine this is the move that he wants to do. Hmm. I don't feel as bad about just moving my knight here. Only because I don't need to take with my pawn, I can just take with my queen. So let's go ahead and attempt to save my knight. Probably lose a bishop. I didn't think about this. I imagine this is what he wants to do. But the other idea I can see is that. And then getting rid of this bishop another way. Maybe just pushing pawns. And if he can get his bishop and queen lined up, that's a pretty strong attack right there. So, he has to deal with a lot of my pieces. Like my knight. Now, is there anything unforeseen? I mean, he can do this now. I don't feel like that helps him out as much. If he brings his rook down, and generally having rooks looking... Huh, didn't want that. Generally having rooks looking on either the 2nd or the 7th rank is a very strong place for them to be. Where does he want to go? If he takes this pawn, what? I just take back. I don't find that scary. Is he trying to reroute his knight back here somehow? I don't know. I don't love my knight's placement currently. I don't feel like it's doing much. So what if I push this? It'll force his knight to move. Ugh. This rook is bothering me. I don't feel like it's in a good place, and I don't know where to move it to either. This game is dead even right now. He has a better pawn structure than I do. Okay, so he's rerouting somewhere. Boop, boop. Let's get this guy in the game. My thought is next turn, depending on what he does, I will push this pawn forward, and then there can be some takes and takes. Ooh. Never mind. So if I don't take... Does he just want a massive trade of pieces? Take. 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 And then probably not even take with the pawn. That. Oof. I think we'll do this and see what his next move is. Because if it's the pawn move, I'm not nearly as worried about a pawn move. If he takes, like, with the knight. Yeah. Okay, does he have any checks that he can give me? No. This feels a little bit too aggressive. So now what I need to make sure of is that I don't get myself forked. This move, because the other fork he has is there, hitting both of my rooks. But I also need to guard that pawn. So, I believe that is the move I want to do. Now, what it also does is if he does this, let's say, my queen is open to attack. I can take his pawn. Sorry, take his knight, which also protects my queen. and attacks his queen. Or her. Again, sorry. I'm not really aware of what the gender of Mitsuko is. Like, it's not name wise, I don't know. So, sorry. My guess is he wants to do that move. This is a complex move, it appears. I also need to see. We're on move 25 right now. So you can't see all of the moves. I don't have a way of making that part bigger. What is this nonsense, man? Like, I understand what they are trying to do. So that's a bad move. I don't like it. That will not be helpful. I can go there. All right, so that gives a check. Works there and there. But I can just take. Wonder if I can bait him into doing something like that. I don't see a way forward, honestly. I need to move my queen. I can do this. He can take. I can take. He can take. But I think. Does he have a more dastardly move? With his horsey? I don't see one. I think we go there. Then if he doesn't protect this pawn, it's either a free pawn or it's a fork. I'm going to assume, though, that what he is going to do is either this move, just not seeing that I can just take his horse for whatever reason, or going to insist on some trades. And trading at this point is not, it's not the best idea because we're both so like similar in the amount of points we have from each other's pieces. So, I mean, his position, I would say my position has to be better. Maybe even just because of this. Like, oh, okay, hold on. Ideas. Contemplating back rank mate. I was going to say my position is better because I am attacking this pawn. He has nothing protecting it. This pawn is protected by two pieces. Boop. Boop. He doesn't have a lot of great moves, which I believe he is realizing as well. That square is too strong. Sadly. Okay. So that would be the fork spot for those pieces. I don't think that's going to happen. What if I do that? He takes, I take with check. He's forced over. I can take, he comes over. I kind of like that idea. My other thought is pushing, but if I push, that becomes an issue again. And then he'll just get a rook. Let's try. He could just line up symmetrically, I suppose. Okay. So I'm in check. I can go here. I can go here. I can go here. I could be a bozo and go here. Hmm. My knight isn't really doing anything right now. I don't like this. I could go for a queen trade, but I'm not that much better than him. That might be a bad choice. I guess I could also just move over. I am open to a back rank mate if I don't figure this out quickly, though. But he's getting there too. So I could see this move. Maybe the horse moving back so it can get in. I don't know. I'm just drawing arrows at this point. Get off the screen. Also, him moving. Okay. Does he have a win? He does. Here takes. Here. Here. I'm toast. Man, that's some impressive vision from this guy. Unless that's not what he sees, but I can't see what else he would be seeing. honestly. So of all the moves I outlined, I didn't have a way of like seeing into the future how those would go. That was impressive though, if that is what he sees. He's taken a long time. He might not see it. He doesn't see it? Okay, not a lot of time. I see that there is a check. Hmm. So, check, take, take. And then these puppies are lined up. Oh no, what have I done? Not me. That arrow. Ooh. Okay, so I have a check. You can do this. Maybe that. Hmm. Hmm. Well, now I definitely don't see a way forward. The knight could go there. So you'd have to push that in prep. That's what I currently see. And he can stop that plan easily, I believe. Just like that. That's all. But he is low on time. Oh, that's another way. Easy peasy. So I have a check. Can't be taken. Let's do it. You can grab that pawn or that pawn. I mean, depending on his move, I could take something else too. He could do this. Both of these moves scare me a little bit. I went with this one. I mean, that's a move. And it's a move also that sets him up for success. Ooh. Okay. So there's a couple things going on. But I'm running out of time. Man, how did we use up all of our time? He's just gonna have to make a move. He's got this, which is a really nice idea. But I think he's gonna run out of time first. So I'm thinking here. Because that pins his knight to his king, so he can't move it, which is what he wants to do. He wants to bring his knight here so he can checkmate me in the corner. He's going to need all of his pieces to do that, though, and I win. Man. It feels good to win. It does not feel good to win on time, though. 3 mistakes, 0 blunders, 0 missed wins. Let's review this quick. I think I played okay. Ooh, 40%. Oh, yeah. He was winning the whole game by so much. I kind of feel bad now. How did I do so terribly? Oh, I had a blunder? Hold on. Yeah, the computer just doesn't think like a, human. I could see that taking could be helpful, but then he's just got a passed pawn in the middle, which I didn't enjoy the idea of that. So, I mean, the game ended where? What kind of nonsense? Why do you want me to just push? It's ridiculous. Where did, I mean, was this, that's not where things went wrong. It was right here. Yeah. Okay. So moving the knight instead of the king over. Yeah. Okay, so before this, things were just even. Like, this is the most even game I've ever played, I think. Like, just, can you still see the graph at the top? Like, it just stayed even the whole time up until, well, this move, I guess. Moving the king over. And I was literally thinking the same thing for him. Like, if I can get his king in the corner, I can just back rank mate him. All right. We won, though. And I did not play terribly. It literally was this specific move that threw everything way to their side. And this one. So, thank you very much for watching. I'll probably post this Tuesday because we have eSports today. And video plus eSports is a little too much for me to manage. So, you guys enjoy. Have some fun. Make good choices. And I will see you later. Peace.